Hello, everyone, and welcome to SEO Resellers webinar series. This is the fourth partner bootcamp, and today we're going to be talking about the expert game plan for selling web design. Before anything else, let's meet our panelists, and I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Will Kramer, and I've been working for over the last 8 years in the industry, just helping businesses grow. A little something about me, I guess, is I'm currently leading business development along with Tim, who's right next to me. So go ahead, Tim.
Thanks, Will. My name's Tim, everyone. I'm sure you guys have heard us speak for, a couple of times already. We've been in the previous webinars, and it feels like just yesterday. And I just want to introduce myself really quick. I'm Tim again, part of the business development team. I've been doing digital marketing for about 5 years now, and been 2 years with SEO Reseller doing business development. One thing you guys don't know about me yet, maybe, is that I cook one dish, and I only know one dish,
Yeah.
and that's adobo. It's like a pork dish with
Oh, yeah.
with soy sauce and vinegar and all that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I know how to cook that among anyone else's. I think that's the best adobo in the Philippines.
Yeah, if you ever, any of you guys come over and visit us, I'm sure Tim's gonna,
I'll cook for you guys.
yeah, and I'll bring the rice. All right. So let's do a little recap about what happened in our previous Partner Bootcamp webinar. And we were talking about the success of doing effective keyword research. So it was all about understanding the keywords themselves and the user intent behind the keywords and classifying them. What was the intention of the keyword and what kind of traffic was it going to deliver? And also determining the ideal keywords for the business too. Then it's also about keyword density and grouping them together. And what were the challenges in keyword selection, and especially how to overcome them? Now, you can actually find the video within the website itself under the free resources. And if you want to see the presentation, that's also within your dashboard under the resources tab.
Right. Now we've got a little treat, like a teaser trailer, as you may, for you guys. We're coming up with a CRM system and a call tracking system that we want to release really soon. We don't have a timetable yet, but just like what we always do, whenever there's a new service or a new product, you guys will receive an email newsletter from us announcing the launch of the product. So what are these CRM and call tracking systems? We got a customer management dashboard where you guys can find where your leads are coming from using your marketing campaigns. And basically, it allows you to segregate which leads are coming from different sources. If it comes from your SEO efforts, it comes from your social or PPC funnel. It's an easy-to-use dashboard. And then we also have the call tracker. A lot of you guys have been asking me, and probably will on some of the calls that we have, about a call tracking software. And now we're close to finishing that project. All calls from all your digital marketing campaigns tracked under one elegant dashboard. And if you guys have any questions about it, feel free to contact your project manager or, give us a call directly. Me and William, we're available, during your hours.
All right. Now, before we really start, let's discuss basically what we're going to be talking about. And like we said again, this is the expert game plan for selling web design. We're going to basically cover how to find your first web design clients or even your new web design clients. Then we'll help you develop your web design sales pitch. We'll also show you how to use the SEO Resellers Mockup Builder and Proposal Creator.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, we'll reintroduce you, or to some who've not seen them yet, how to sell our core web design packages.
Right. But just before we get into the meat of the conversation, William, I got a quick question for you, if you don't mind. I've been asked this question a couple of times, and I think it's interesting for us and, for everyone who's listening to the webinar to know what your opinion is.
Right.
How is selling website design different from selling SEO or selling PPC or, selling social media?
I think the difference lies in who you're selling to. I think there's two types. The first is a person who's never had a website done before and has no idea what the digital space looks like.
Right.
And they're so reliant basically on their business being where they're at. And then the second one is a client who's had web design before, has had several attempts at doing some form of marketing. And, the difference there being, if you're talking to somebody new, you've got to paint them the big picture. Just how it all works and what are the benefits and opportunities you can work out. Now, if you dive into SEO, PPC, and social, that can supplement your web design conversation, especially talking to an existing website.
Right, right.
So
And
it's
I want to add to that, Will.
yeah,
You bring up a good point because there are clients that maybe you have relationships already with, and they're doing SEO services with you, or
right.
maybe they're running a PPC campaign, but that doesn't mean you can't sell them on web design. The
Yeah,
great thing about web design is besides the fact that it's the core of every business, having a website, it's also a way or an opportunity for you to upsell to your client because 9 times out of 10, these clients don't know if their websites are what mobile responsive, if their websites are up to date,
mm-hmm.
if their websites are very optimized for SEO.
Yeah,
Everything that falls under that is an opportunity. So really, that's the difference between selling website design, and at least in our opinion, that's the difference between selling that amongst all the other services that we have.
right. Okay, so let's talk about the very first thing, and this is about finding your web design clients.
Hmm.
I personally, I don't know if any of you know this or heard me say this before, but I used to have, a small business on the side
Oh yeah.
before SEO reseller. Yeah, I did try to sell websites of my own. So I had a team of designers and developers,
Wow.
and yeah, so we're not going to talk today about the basics like cold calling and walking down the street and handing out flyers.
Yeah, you guys
We're
probably know that already.
right. It's a given. So what we want to cover today is a few hacks, just a few free hacks
Yeah.
we've learned from our other partners. Some
Hmm.
of these guys are really good, and
Yep.
we're grateful that they've shared their.
Isn't this the part where we say, kids, don't try this at home, or no?
No, the opposite.
Okay.
All right. So where do you start when you start to search for web design clients? Before anything else, what I'd like to point out, same thing like I said earlier, there are two kinds of clients that you can approach. One client doesn't actually have a website yet, nothing. And then you've got the client that's got an existing website. Do you know which one's easier to sell to?
Hmm. That's a trick question, ain't it?
Yeah, because it's actually the one that has a website already. Because
Exactly.
they understand it.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been there. They've gotten that speech several times. So
Right.
that's a challenge, and we'll focus on that later.
Yeah.
It's about standing out, showing
Mhm.
what makes you different as a provider. So the first hack that we'd like to show you, or pro tip that you normally call these, is you can actually go into Yellow Pages and check for local businesses without a website. And so this is one of them. All you have to do is bring up Google or any search engine. Well, actually Google. So do a search query
Right.
and type in the following search operators. So it's site:/yellowpages.com/ star
Asterisk MIP
in
in title.
title. And then this is the part what you can change. This is
Yeah.
the business basically. But check the category that exists within Yellow Pages. And so what we put here was auto repair. And then minus quote website unquote.
Right. Some of you guys, I know this might be new. I mean, this is one of those rarest search operator commands. Don't worry because we're going to store this presentation deck towards the end of the webinar. You guys are
Right.
going to be able to access this. If you want to review what kind of site command that was, feel free to just download it later on.
Right. And this actually will allow you to see all the businesses on the listing site of Yellow Pages that
Right.
doesn't have a website. So that's the first one.
Mhm.
Now, another way to do it is still on Google search, and that's how you're able to look for WordPress websites with a specific niche and location in mind. This time, again, it's another search query, quote, powered by WordPress, unquote, and then put in the niche, basically what the industry is, like a
Right.
dentist or a plumber, and then
Cosmetic
put in the
surgeon.
location.
Yeah.
Again, this will also give you a list of businesses that have WordPress sites with those specific niches
This
and
is awesome.
locations.
Yeah. And now that you have the list, this is the third hack that we'd like to use and have our partners use. You can install a plugin that allows you to check the site's mobile responsiveness. If you guys use Google Chrome has an extension called Responsive Web Design Tester.
Yeah.
Chrome extension that reflects both the size and the browser of the mobile device, and you can get a quick preview of how the website will appear on different devices. Now, maybe some of you guys are not a fan of Google Chrome, just maybe. Maybe you're using Firefox or Safari.
Right.
Don't worry. Google has a link with it's called the Google Mobile Friendly Tester. You just have to Google it, search it, and then what it does is it enables you to plug in a website URL, and you just hit analyze. it gives you a summary of the mobile friendly status of the website. So that's really something you guys can definitely leverage whenever you're checking for website opportunities. If the site is not mobile responsive, if Google doesn't think this is a mobile friendly website, there's your opportunity.
Right. And we're bringing up the fact that we're talking about mobile responsiveness, and we'll cover that a little bit more later. It's an opportunity that we'd like to share with you.
For sure.
Now, we also understand that it isn't just about finding the right clients, because even if the client is extremely qualified, this is like someone really close to you,
Yeah.
or someone who just clearly is asking everybody, or just posting a message on Facebook or on a wall of a group and saying that I need a website now, somebody help me. What we want to do is help you develop your web design sales pitch.
Right. So on developing your web design sales pitch, like with the slides, it's not just selling the product. You're offering the solution. And there's three key points that we've come up with in order for
Right.
you to have a great web design sales pitch. The first one you guys have to take note of is you've got to spend time and effort on the right prospect. Not all clients are qualified clients. You've got to identify if they're fit and ready to be in the business with you. This is also where you get to know the business better. If the business is even worth selling to you, identify the right prospect. You don't want to spend a lot of time, a lot of your resources, your preparation, and all that
Right.
with the wrong prospect or with the wrong client.
You
Right?
have been talking to 5 different people, and then it's been 60 days when you could have spoke to just one guy, and it would have been
Exactly.
done over in 5 days.
Yeah, that's true. And then the second one is you have to show the clients the value of website design. Like I said earlier, not all businesses know whether the website is, even mobile responsive or not. They don't even know if they need a website. There's a lot of local businesses. You'll be surprised. There's stats that we're going to show later on. And, some of them basically say that not all businesses have mobile-friendly sites, and they don't know that. But the moment they understand the value of having a mobile-friendly website or a mobile-responsive site, they would immediately, they go crazy on, getting that website design service from you.
Right. Not all sites are built equal.
Yep.
And it needs someone to tell them that.
That's for sure. And then you've got the third one, which is demonstrate your expertise. You've got to be the expert. And this doesn't mean that you've got to know the answers off the bat when they ask you that. You've got your team of, of website developers and project managers. You've got us. You have the resources.
Right.
Use that to your advantage. And we'll dive more on what these three items are about. So in spending time and effort on the right prospect, you've got to focus on a niche. Spend your time, spend your efforts and resources on a niche in your area. A niche can be, or an industry that you specialize in selling with if you've got a sales background. But
Right.
it doesn't apply to all. What if I don't have a network yet, right?
Exactly. And like just an example, you may not have a network,
Right.
And you may not have been a salesman before.
Mhm.
But what if in your past industry you were so exposed to the workings? Like for example, I know this guy one of the partners here, he was a med rep before, so he
Okay.
dealt with a lot of doctors.
Oh, I
Right.
think I know this guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so back then they didn't have any websites. And when he decided to shift, it was I think he said it was the 90s, late 90s when he got started.
Way back.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when he got the ball rolling, he
Uh-huh.
just connected again with all these people. He'd already built rapport with them, and he knew how to talk the talk. So it was
There you
just
go.
convincing them that, you know what, I'm starting to get into this. You guys should also pay attention to what it's doing for you.
Right.
That was just an example.
No. That's great because sometimes you don't know that you already have a network or you don't know that you're already focusing on a niche,
Right.
but you are. Actually, that brings up a good point. If you don't have an industry to focus yet, why not start with a friend of a friend or a friend of a relative, something like that? Because technically that's a niche.
Yeah,
Your
it is.
relatives are a niche.
Quote, relatives, quote, unquote.
Yeah, you find that in Google. Oh no, my aunt needs a website. And then you've got your second point right here on spending time and effort. You've got figure out what clients you're selling to. Look for easy to sell niches or
Right.
industries. There's a lot of local businesses out there that you can sell websites to. Earlier we taught you simple hacks on finding businesses online that don't have websites yet. You can start from there and you can identify a certain niche. Like if you want to sell to restaurants, go for it. If you're located in Jacksonville, Florida, for example,
Yep.
be specific, find that niche and focus on that list.
Right.
And then, of course, the obvious, which is go local. Focus on clients with a local website or with a local business, rather. You've gotta identify that need, because imagine if you're walking down the street, you were looking for a restaurant, right? And you do a search on your phone. None of the searches were appearing on that brand that you were looking for. I mean, there's no website.
Yeah.
Worse, there's no business directory or not even a single Facebook business page. But what does a business without a website tell you? They're not, they're
What
not
business?
there yet. What business, right? Exactly.
Right.
So it's a sign of credibility.
Yeah. Or like another example would be a friend told me that to come over to his restaurant. So I'm on my phone and I swear I forgot exactly where it was. But I know it's down the street.
Right.
So when I check my phone and search, it was an Italian restaurant. So I
Uh-huh.
searched Italian restaurant. I don't see his business.
Yeah.
I end up seeing another restaurant down the street that's doing Mexican food. And I'm
Okay.
like, I'm hungry. I can't find it anymore.
Might
So
as
I
well.
Might as well. So that's what Tim's saying about going local.
Exactly.
That's how important it is. All right.
So in showing your clients the value of web design, earlier we mentioned about really identifying what they need, and this is also you being the bearer of the news. Right now, in case some of you guys don't know, Google is prioritizing mobile indices, and Google Webmaster Central released a blog last November 4th, 2016. Let me just read it aloud to you guys. To make our results more useful, we've begun experiments to make our index mobile first. Although our search index will continue to be a single index of websites and apps, our algorithms will eventually primarily use the mobile version of a site's content to rank pages from that site, to understand structured data, and to show snippets from those pages in our results. In summary, this is a big change in Google. You're separating the indices between desktop search and mobile search. So if I had a website, Will,
Yep.
and my website is not mobile responsive, someone searches me in mobile, I don't show up there. I don't exist. I basically
Right.
don't
Because
exist.
it's supposed to work right now where if you search on desktop,
Right.
you're doing pretty well. But if I search on mobile, you're pretty much lower than you'd be on desktop. But now, bye bye.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is what we wanted to point out about why you need to show your clients the value of web design. This is one of them. This is
Right.
a primary example that you can leverage. It's important to become mobile responsive, and we're going to show you a few stats to prove that as well. And it's all about making sure, Google is setting the standards, right, Tim, for everything.
Oh yeah.
And that's why even here at SEO Reseller, when we build websites, it's the SEO that drives it. We want a website that go live and obtain really good baseline rankings. So that's us expressing value in web design. It's part of it. So that's what we're trying to say.
Exactly. And this is also something you can show to your clients. I mean, what does this mean for your clients exactly? It's more important than ever right now. And I'm really, if I can't stress this enough, it's now. It's important that you make your client's website mobile responsive. Also, optimizing for speed and integrating AMP technology or accelerated mobile pages in web design is a must.
It just makes things snap.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So we want to show you also, again, why it's valuable. Why web design is valuable. So here is a pro tip. If you're having a hard time convincing clients, throw a few stats their way.
Right.
So-
These are the big did you knows.
Right, and then you can build a story off of these. You don't have to use all of them and blind them with stats.
Nope.
Pick a few that's related to a single topic, and then there's where your story can keep going.
Right.
So-
I just want to read a couple like what
Right.
we have on the slides right now. You guys know that 66% of consumers prefer viewing beautifully designed content to something plain. That's something new. I mean,
yeah, I want to
why-
be part of that 66% too.
yeah, I want to be part of that too. 48% of organic searches are done on mobile devices. Guilty.
Same here.
Yep.
Me time is all about searching on my phone.
37% of B2B clients say poor web design causes them to leave the site.
And that's true. Imagine if I was a business, and I'm prepared to deal with your business, and I see your website like that. Yeah, it's just a bad impression for me.
Yep. High bounce rate off the bat.
Bye-bye.
72% of searchers use smartphones when looking for information on the go. Like, I just experienced this a while ago. I was looking for a restaurant nearby the area. So I'm guilty of that as well. Massage and spas and all that. Very guilty. Mobile phone search users to increase up to 215.8 million by 2019. Wow, that's a pretty cool prediction right there. And then
Yeah,
another
that's a
prediction
wow
that
one.
Statista made. By the way, if you guys are wondering, source right there, Statista and Adobe from 2015 to 2016. Smartphone users accessing mobile search information to increase up to 98%. Wow, by 2019.
Yep.
That's a large increase
If
right
we're
there.
saying wow, wait till you're talking to your clients.
Exactly.
Is it really that big? Is it really going that fast?
You'll be
That's for sure.
surprised.
All right. So now we want to demonstrate your expertise. We want you to be able to do that. So first things first, you have to be the provider. Now, what does that mean? Because some website owners, so I'm not talking about the ones that don't have a website yet. Some website owners have had their website since the early 2000s or even the 90s.
Yeah.
And they're going to tell you about how long it's been since then, and I've wanted my site it was the best before,
Mhm.
and this design worked for me. So what makes you any different from all those people who are selling me web design in the first place? What's going to make you different today?
Right.
And it's not about the answer, right? Because you're probably gonna say the same thing, and he's gonna point that out. It's
Yeah.
how you deal with the
Right.
objection.
That's what makes you unique as a provider. I mean, in your area, how many web design agencies you know? Probably there's a few, right? But what makes you different from them? It's the way you address these objections.
Right.
So we've cited a couple of objections right here that I think you guys might have, been asked before. First one I like because I get this a lot from the partners I talk to. We can't afford a website at the moment. The answer is you've got to provide them with options. The site will just need bare essentials that can be broken down into separate project builds. And what do we mean by that? It's like you identifying exactly what their budget looks like, number one. Second is what they intend to do on the website. What's the purpose of the site? Maybe they're saying a lot of things to you, but between the lines, you really what really is needed is just a simple website, a brochure type of website, 5 pages,
Right.
no added functionality into it. Very simple. It doesn't cost them a lot to do that, right?
Exactly. As long as it tells people who they are and that they're offering these services, and there's at least a call to action to at least take that traffic and do
Right.
something with it. That's what counts. Because we've had that experience before where also let's say you're talking to a client and they're asking for all these things they feel that they should have had on their website in the first place, and then they
Yeah.
start saying, "But I know that costs a lot. So I can't afford that kind of website." So Tim is basically saying, then look at our packages,
Mhm.
and then each one of them sort of covers the full build,
Yeah.
all the way from the advanced one down to the local one. So
Right.
those are your options too.
hmm And so the next objection we have, I'm already satisfied with how my website looks. This one's a guy who already purchased the site. The first one is someone who hasn't purchased yet. And then this one is already satisfied with how his website looks or her website looks. The key to this is by asking more questions. You've got to probe even more.
Right.
It's not really an objection. Sometimes all it takes is for you to identify where the problem is, and you've got to check: is the mobile even mobile response? Is the site even mobile responsive? Is the design geared towards your user experience? If they're not, then prepare those stats we just showed you earlier and show them the opportunities they're missing.
Yeah, even there's a lot. What you need to do is dive into the details, because the concept here is I am happy with my design.
Mhm.
Ask him a question like, okay, so was this your preference in color? Did you pick out these pictures? And if you find out that it actually was the business owner who had like an 80% handle on what he wanted from the website,
Right.
then you're going to have to talk to them about why the design has compromised the user experience. Then
Mhm.
talk about the business. It can go in that direction.
Agreed. And then the last objection we wrote, well, not really wrote, but we got this. We were sort of discussing this
And
earlier,
this was a bit
Will.
of an argument for both of us.
Yeah. So this goes like, I've had my website for X number of years and spent a lot of money. So a guy already purchased, and I don't need another website. So this guy probably had a website before 10 to 15 years ago, spent a lot of money, and feels like he doesn't need to spend another website. Then it's about time you demonstrate your expertise by saying, there's a difference between what was good before and what is good right now in the eyes of Google. Talk about the differences between a website from before and now and what is needed to compete against your competitors today.
Exactly. Because, it's some of these clients, these business owners that have owned these websites for years, back then ranking like crazy,
Exactly.
and then eventually started to swoop down. And I wouldn't blame them really. If I
Yeah.
had made that amount of money, I made an investment that big, and put my heart and soul
Mm-hmm.
into that website, and then now you're telling me that I need another one. It
Yeah.
hurts. So you gotta appeal to that too.
Right.
Before moving on to the next slide, I wanted to point out a few things too. It's also a question of when are you hearing these objections? Here's the problem. If you hear it right off the bat, that means you didn't actually get to probe them a little further. You didn't build
Right.
any rapport. If the guy is talking to you, if you've been talking for the last 30 seconds and they jump into, we can't afford a website at that moment.
Mm-hmm. You missed something in your sales process. There always has to
Exactly.
be that, qualifying, the prep, the qualifying, building rapport, building desire. You
Yes.
gotta follow this sales process.
Right. And normally the objections would be a little more heartfelt. That's why
Yeah.
it'll be easier to answer them. It'll be based off of what they need to hear too. And
Right.
we've said these in the past few webinars. But
Right,
that's
right.
just what I wanted to point out and what
Yeah.
Tim is also trying to say.
But let's leverage some more of your expertise by having some simplified processes from us. So you've got to simplify the process, minimize the back and forth, and leverage the available technology and resources that you guys have from us. So in the experts, you guys can contact us 24/5. SEO Reseller is available to address all your questions. Like I said earlier, if a client asks you for something and you guys don't know what the answer is off the bat, don't be scared. You can tell the client, you know what, I'll check with my team. I'll provide you a more accurate answer to that. And then you can give us a call. You can call your project managers, or if you don't have any project manager yet, call me or William.
Right.
And we've got experts in our company as well. We've got seasoned website development, web development guys, seasoned web designers, graphic artists, all that. So we're available to address your questions and help you out all the way.
Right. And then what's important is if you're in a conversation with a client who's got a few questions here and there, answer as best as you can, but identify which ones you can't handle. That's what we're trying to say about the experts. You
Mhm.
have the experts. You
Right.
tell them that I have a team of professionals that are able to perform any of the things that you're currently requesting for. As long as
Exactly.
it's within scope and within your budget. Then
There you
most
go.
definitely. So it's about also the resources. We have an area in the dashboard that allows you to see the service level agreements, the client briefs, the sales guides, the white
Mhm.
papers, and the pitch decks. All of these are downloadable. And, well, let's put it this way. Our most successful resellers, when they started out with us, do you know that most of these have actually been a collaboration between them? We've learned a lot from them, haven't
Yeah.
we, Tim? And they've shared their experience with us too.
Right.
And so that's also the reason why we have these.
It's available for you guys to download. I think a lot of them, well, if it's not 100%, the bullet points that you see on this slide, they're all branded to your company. So it's really ready to be sent to your clients. And all you need to do is really just download these documents, align it with the sales process you have, and go make the pitch. Another thing you guys can leverage in terms of technology is the dashboard that you guys have with us. Some of you guys who have participated in this webinar may have already seen the dashboard, but for some of you guys that haven't signed up yet, just go to our website, click that sign up button on the navigation, and fill out the information. You'll receive an automated email from us with the activation link to your dashboard. Then you can access the different modules we have. But we specifically want to talk about what you can leverage in terms of web design sales. We've got the Mockup Builder and
Yep.
the Proposal Creator. We're going to talk more about that and walk you through on how to use that later on. So the Mockup Builder and the Proposal Creator. Ta-da!
All right. So a lot of you have asked us for mock-ups and design templates and samples. Well, let's show you exactly where you can go to create those.
Right.
And yeah, use it for your pitch.
Exactly. So here's an overview of the Mockup Builder and the Proposal Creator, right? The first one is the Mockup Builder. When you go to your dashboard, the immediate page you'll see is the home page. But on the left-hand sidebar menu, you've got the Proposals tab. It's just underneath Campaigns. So just go ahead and click that. When you land on that page, you've got two sections, which is the mockups and the proposal. you want to start with the mockup because this one allows you to design your website template straight from this very dashboard. And it also provides you with several different mockups from various types of businesses and industries. As we mentioned earlier, you have to focus on a niche, focus on an industry, and our dashboard, the mockup builder specifically, enables you to do that. We've got template designs covering uh, law firms, restaurants, dentists, cosmetic surgeons. But here's the thing. We've got a list right there, but it doesn't mean that we're not adding more. In fact, we keep adding more every single month. We conduct surveys from partners and ask them about, what do you guys think we should add in the next, what kind of industry should we design? And even if we don't get that survey from you, you can directly tell me, or you can directly tell your project manager, say, hey, I need you guys to build a design template for this specific niche. Like, for example, real estate. We don't have that yet, but I think we're going to come up with that. In any case, you can request that. We always find ways to provide solutions for you guys.
Right. And the bottom section or part of the proposals is the actual proposal creator. It allows you to generate a branded proposal document that you can attach your mockups to. So the mockups that you created earlier, you can pick up the 3 and we'll show you how to do it.
Right.
But this allows you also to attach them. And then you can you basically attach supplementary documents like the service level agreements, the frequently asked questions, and the client questionnaire.
And the mockup.
And the mockup.
Yes.
Right. So both of these are here to help you. You probably are starting out for the first time. Mm-hmm. And what I advise too, right, mm-hmm. is that you don't have to pretend that you've been running a business or running a web design company for X amount of years. Be upfront. Tell them that I'm just about to get started, and I've got a team of experts, and I've got the resources. I've got a dashboard for you to prove everything's working, and here's everything I'd want to prove to you. Why we can build your website for you. And that's what this is all about until you eventually start develop your own system, like our most successful resellers, and teach us and tell us what they need and for us to improve as well.
That also, exactly. That helps us a lot, especially when we get feedback from the partners about what they need exactly. Yeah. I mean, no one's perfect, right? I mean, we can build you systems and softwares and, resources for you guys to use. But at the end of the day, our success depends on how well you guys provide us feedback on what we need to improve on to service you better.
So feel free to contact your project manager or me and Tim and let us know if you need anything else.
Give me a ring.
So let's show you how to use it. Let's show you how to use the Mockup Builder.
Okay. So the first step in using the Mockup Builder is really by signing up to us.
If you haven't.
If you haven't yet, sign up to us, your reseller, to get access to our dashboard. It's very fast, very easy.
That's
free of charge.
It's in there.
It's in there.
Right. And if you have, just skip this step. So.
Yep. Step 2 is on the dashboard, go to proposals and click create new mockup. Yeah, that's that gray cross right there. We just magnified it so you guys can see, but it's visible on the dashboard.
Too. Right.
Yep.
Because you should be able to see the other mockups on the right side with the tab, but this is what you need to click.
Exactly. And then the third step is you have to select the client's industry and select the design. This is really great because in this section you can see all the designs for dental industries. You guys can see all the designs for lawyers, for plumbers, mechanics, everything. And then what's also cool is you can select the elements on the homepage that you don't want to include inside the layout. Like if you don't want to have the About Us page, you can actually do that as well,
which we'll show you right here.
Exactly. That's where you can we can tick and untick the pages that you don't want, and drag and drop. It's very easy to really use.
Right. So once you're done with that, after you picked out which sections you want, and if you've moved it around, like I don't want the affiliates, I don't have any, so I'll take that off.
Yeah.
But I want to raise the recent posts a bit higher than I guess the services.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you just have to click save.
Yep. Just save the mockup once you're done customizing. What you'll notice is when you do that, when you actually save that mockup, it redirects you to the proposal builder, which is what we're going to discuss on the next slide. How do you use the proposal creator?
So you need to review your business information first and edit the following, like your business name, the position, your address, your phone number, and your email. Your logo also gets incorporated here too. So fill this out first. The next step is filling out your client's information. You have to fill out the client business name, the client logo, the address, name, title, and email. If you did speak to your client already, then that should have been easy for you to fill these all out.
Agreed.
That's what's important.
Yeah.
The next step, of course, is setting your product prices. The package would be in place. All of them would actually show you the suggested retail price. You can go up or you can go down.
Yep. And then you've got the fourth step, which is to review the proposal and attach the supplementary documents. Earlier, we discussed that where you can attach, the SLA, the client questionnaire, the FAQs, and even the mock-up. So just make sure that everything is correct in the proposal because, mind you, you're going to send this to your client. You don't want to be having incorrect information. So
right.
And then step 5 is click generate. Once done, your proposal will be ready in an instant. It downloads as a zip file because it's got multiple attachments and files inside it. It's got the proposal, it's got the SLA, the mock-ups, the FAQs, and the client questionnaire. So all in all, there's 5 documents in it. And your proposal will download as a PDF document with your branding. So all in one proposal, pitch kit, ready to go.
Done. 5 steps. Easy.
Yep.
All right. So the next and close to the last topic is all about selling our web design packages. You're starting out with us, so we know that some of you've seen them. You can see the complete breakdown when you check out the store. So we'll go through them really quickly. To note, you may have noticed that the WordPress mobile optimization package is now within your store.
Right.
We've already added it from yesterday, 24 hours ago.
Just yesterday. Yep.
Right. So we're going to go quickly through the local web design, the web design starter, the advanced web design, and we'll talk a bit more about the WordPress mobile optimization package.
Exactly. So on a local web design, this is a really basic package for businesses, and this is what we encourage you guys to sell if you're going to follow the pro tips we've mentioned earlier, focusing on the niche and focusing on local businesses.
Right.
This local web design package allows you to do that because we'll basically build a site using a template design of your choice from the dashboard, and basically we can do it in 2 weeks, as fast as that, because the template is already there. There's minimal back and forth, I guess, and it's easy to do. You just have to provide us all the necessary requirements, like the content, the the images and all that,
the main design concept.
The main design concept, and we can definitely do it for you in a fast manner. So what's the catch? Get premium WordPress websites deployed in record time at an unbeatable price, and you can pitch it to local businesses as we've mentioned.
The next one is the web design starter. It's better than the local web design because this time it also includes content and logo creation.
Correct.
So it's a step up.
Yeah.
Actually. And this one you can also still sell to small and this time
Still,
also medium businesses too.
Right. And then we've got the advanced web design package. This one's more like a custom package, but it involves you selling this to larger businesses or e-commerce types of businesses.
Higher functionalities, yeah.
High functionalities and custom designs. This is a package for them, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now this is the one that we're about to introduce. And earlier we've been talking also. We add snippets here and there about why it's important to go mobile. This is a foot in the door.
Exactly.
So let's say, for example, it was a client who has the objection of not being able to spend any more than they should. You can do this. You can talk about the mobile optimization that's required for their site.
Right. And if you guys are wondering why we didn't dive into details for each of the packages, the package details are actually inside your store. So when you're logged into the dashboard, feel free to go to the store and check out the line items, what's inclusive of each packages, the pricing, and all that. Even the resource center has details about it.
Right, and it comes with also frequently asked questions, and if something doesn't make sense, or if you've got more questions than you can see, feel free to reach out to us or reach out to any project manager yourself.
Please.
Right.
Yep.
Now, this is the bonus round, and we'd like to introduce 2 more packages, but let's go into this further. This is the Flex Hours and the Smart SEO Hosting.
Right. Flex Hours, you guys are probably aware of this already. We didn't have a name for this package before, but for some of the partners I've worked with, and you guys have worked with other project managers on this, you probably have experience where you guys ask for web development changes on a site and it only took a few hours, like 4 hours or 5 hours. Doesn't need to be a full website development package. This is what we have here. The Flex Hours is a package for that. If you've got minor updates on the site, like, uploading content, updating some plugins, asking us to add some more page templates and uploading some content there, this is what you can sell to your clients. So like what William said earlier, it's a foot in the door service. If you can't sell a full website development package, start here.
Right. A great way to show expertise without asking for too much.
Right.
And of course, the smart SEO hosting. This allows us to be able to host websites for you, up to 5. And it's pretty fast, and it works really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested, feel free to ask us about this.
Right. So now we go to our synthesis, and basically we're wrapping up all the discussions we've mentioned in this webinar, and I think you guys have a pretty good sense of what we're looking to impart on you regarding getting the right clients, identifying the right business, focusing on a niche, and becoming ready on your sales pitches, demonstrating your expertise. Because I think in our experience, well, especially when we're talking to new partner signups, it's important that these guys know what they're talking about. You've got to know what the client's business is first. You've got to match the business type to what you're selling, because if you can't do that, then you probably just lost that lead opportunity right there.
Yourself as well.
Right. So I think it's important because you have that ability to leverage your available technology with us as well. You have a team of 140 plus employees with us. You've got your project managers. You've got your web developers and designers. If you guys need help, we're here to help. Even if you feel like we need another walkthrough, a more in-depth one on the mockup builder or the proposal creator, we do that for you.
Right. You can have personal conversations with us, and you can ask us specific questions, even the ones that you probably would want to ask here. But we're going to get into that soon with the Q&A section to cover most of the stuff that you guys probably want to ask.
Exactly. I think there are some questions in already. I'm seeing a few, but I do want to wrap this up by saying that selling web design is not the easiest and not the hardest, but I think it should be easy for partners that know what the client's business is all about.
Right.
I know we keep saying that, but it's important, because if you don't, then it's not going to make sense for you to sell any web design or web development package to them. You're basically just getting their money, providing the service they didn't ask for without knowing what exactly they need. So identifying the need is important. You got to know as well what the client profile is. Identify if it's a local business or not. We suggest you focus on the business that's local and you focus on a certain niche.
Right.
That's the easiest way to do it.
It's all about being comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
I think. It's really about, knowing what you can work with.
Right.
And leaving the rest of it to us.
Exactly.
Right? These are baby steps. And it's not a requirement that you have to prove that you're an expert to these people.
No, you don't.
And you don't have to go after those old, complex websites or a business that makes a large amount of an annual turnover to consider them as to be a client. Start with what's right.
Exactly.
Go local, be comfortable, and leave the rest of it to the experts.
Right. You have the team.
Okay.
So let's go on with the questions that you guys have. But before that, we have a treat for our partners right here in the webinar who attended. So for our partners, we've got the web design pitch kit. And this pitch kit contains the local web design pitch deck, the white paper, the sales guide, the expert game plan for selling web design training guide, and a client prospecting sheet. In order for you guys to get this, you have to sign up or log into your dashboard and go to the resource center to download this free pitch kit. If you guys are seeing that link on the bottom of the slide, that's the sign up page where you guys can go and access the dashboard, be able to access the resource center and download this file.
And become a partner for SEO Reseller.
Yes, sir.
And the last treat that we wanted to share with you, and it's very exclusive to this webinar.
Tell me more.
Okay. So you can actually, if you buy a local web design package from us, within 3 months, if you're able to gain your first client and they're able to purchase an SEO package,
right,
a web design package, or a local bundle, we'll give you back what you paid for that local web design package. 100% rebate.
100% rebate. Okay.
Yeah. So it's valid for 3 months.
Awesome.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't show this to you earlier. So just what a surprise, huh? So yeah, feel free to reach out to us so you can obtain your web design pitch kit. Sign up like Tim said. And if you're going to start out, if you don't have a website, go ahead and get the web design package. It's going to come back to you as soon as you get your first client.
Talk to us as soon as you can because we want to be able to walk you through and how this process looks like. We also want to show you how the launch of the project and the actual process of the development looks like because eventually when you guys start having clients with us, project web design projects, you've got to know the ins and outs as well. If you bought the local web design package for your own website, for your own business, I think it's going to make sense because you're going to see the process. And then later on when you're pitching to a client, you can be more descriptive. Like, this is what happens on the first week. This is what happens on the second week, so on and so forth.
Exactly. All right, then. I think it's time for the questions.
Yep.
So
let's get them in.
Before anything else, feel free to schedule a call, and you can call us anytime. This is the link, and we've got our toll-free numbers, and this is our Australian and U.S. number. And you can email us at info@seoreseller.com. So I'm going to start with the first question here. Let me read it to you, Tim. That means you're going to answer it.
All right. Bring it on.
Okay. So is the main design concept going to come from us or from you?
Okay. Well, in terms of design concept, if you're referring to the template design, we have it inside the proposal builder, which is the where the mockup creator specifically. You can select different kinds of template designs from there based on the niche that you're trying to sell to. So if that's the question directly, if that was the meaning of the question, at least, we provide it. You don't have to provide it. But in some cases, I've had experiences with partners where they have a specific design in mind or they have a specific theme, a WordPress theme in mind that they want to have it patterned to the website development project. We can work on that. You guys can send us over that and we'll figure out a way to make it work on both ends.
Right?
Yeah, we'll make some adjustments on our end. We're just saying that the templated designs we have are already there for you guys to use. So you don't have to work or, you don't have to invest a lot of time and resource on your end to do research and provide us a design concept. We'll take care of that for you.
Exactly. All right. Okay, I guess second question's coming from you.
Exactly. Now it's your turn. The question I have here, Will, is it says, are the sites you build SEO friendly?
Definitely. Yes, they have to be. We're SEO reseller.
With full conviction.
No, because we believe that when you launch your website for the first time, it's like Google's about to Google's about to get their first impression of you. So when you get that site live, especially with us, we want to make sure everything is in place. We've optimized the content. We have the good amount of pages that support each other.
Right.
And in essence, once we get that site live, it'll develop baseline rankings within 2 to 3 weeks when Google first indexes the website, even after redesign. And we also have to make sure that everything's in place. If not, well, all that leverage you had before, bye.
Exactly.
What we want to do is increase what you already have. And that's why it's important for a website to be SEO friendly. So yes, we build them to become SEO. We build them to be SEO friendly.
Yeah, it's like our way of saying that we're setting up the website for you to help you upsell eventually. Because eventually when that site gets live and you don't have a contract to go on with a client for another business, you can do an upsell and say, now that your website's live, I think it's high time for us to do marketing. What do you say we do an SEO project for you? Right?
Yeah, it's a good intro.
Or PPC because, a new website doesn't have any traffic. You can pitch them PPC on that. So in a way, we're basically saying that you can leverage that area and make sure that the site is actually SEO friendly. We assure you that the sites are SEO friendly. So,
okay, I can see the next question. I know it's supposed to be for me. I think we should both answer it.
Sure.
With conviction. Can I see samples of your web design?
Samples of web design. Well, we send some sample websites to our partners when they ask for it, especially if it's their first time signing up with us. They ask me a lot, hey Tim, do you guys have some sample sites?
But we always have to make it clear
that the sites that we send to you are just for your reference. It cannot be sent to your clients for marketing purposes.
Right, because we ask permission from other partners if we're allowed to show them to other partners. Because it helps us show that we've done the work.
Right.
So you can use them, but please don't use them to show them as if it was for your own portfolio. That's why we have mock-up templates. That's why we have design
Right.
templates.
However, I think, and Mark can correct me in this if I'm wrong. We've had a conversation before that we're going to come up with like a white label portfolio list, or like a way for us to show portfolio sites to end clients without revealing the client information that we have. Because right now the sample sites we have are
Yeah, existing.
actual
They're live.
websites, and they're live. So what we're coming up with a solution, a white label solution, to provide you guys an option to present portfolio websites or designs, at least
Right.
on your end. So we're always about providing solutions.
Okay. So, here's another one. I guess I can hit this.
Okay.
Are we limited to the exact design of the mock-ups we create via the mock-up builder? No, not at all. We can change those, especially after you intake the client, because you're going to propose to them with the mock-up templates, and I'm sure they're going to pick one they like. And when they do that, they'll probably want they will want their logo on it. They'll want their colors. They'll want the slider filled with these certain images that they have for their business. And then there's your input on how to make it better. So definitely, we can edit the mockups.
We can.
After you've selected them, and then that's actually what makes it all different after.
Right.
It's just the base that you need, the foundation of the design.
A visual representation of the client site, right? The next question is actually almost in line with that. I see someone ask, how many design revisions can we do?
I think we need to establish first the difference between a revision and a change.
Right, exactly. Because if you're talking about a revision on the actual template design that you selected from the dashboard, let's say, for example, we already are in development and you guys had revisions on it, right?
Yeah, I don't like this page. Maybe we should change not just the layout. I want this completely new. I got, it's not what I like. That is a revision.
That's a revision.
A complete revision. So,
but in terms of the design, the actual design revisions, or, as we call it on our end, mock-up revisions, it's usually applied to the advanced web development services, because on the advanced, you guys can have us create homepage mockups, inner page mockups, and we'll leave room for revision rounds. Now, if you're talking about that specifically, you guys get up to 3 revision rounds for each. But for the local web design templates that we have, it usually comes during the development stage when we provide you the staging link. Because for some of you guys who don't know how the process works on our end, we build the sites, or we develop the sites using a staging link. So that means if the client has an existing website, it doesn't have to go down or be under maintenance. It doesn't affect it directly, because we're building and designing the site on a different environment.
Right.
But once the staging link is ready, we're going to send it to you for initial assessment, and then you guys can now provide us the feedback. If we need to revise anything like color palettes, or a little bit of change on the layout.
But what's important to note is that when we perform all of the requirements that we agreed on from the design stage, and when we go to final presentation, that's when the client gets to fill in basically all of the requests that they'd like to make. Most of them, of course, are minor changes from color to text that add us another image. So yeah, that's basically it.
Right. And I just want to remind you guys really quick that the mockup generator enables you guys to pitch quickly to your clients and generate different great looking designs to get your foot in the door. And, you can go through as many leads as you want using the various designs of the tool that we have. So it's just really a bit of a reminder for you guys to leverage the mockup creator and the proposal builder.
Okay. All right. The next question is to you. Do you host the sites that you build?
We certainly do under the smart SEO hosting packages, but not automatically.
Yep.
It's a trick question.
It's not a default, right?
Yeah. The websites that we do by default, we usually ask for the hosting credentials of the client. And then, so earlier I mentioned we build it on a staging server, right? When the site is about to go live, we ask for the hosting credentials of the client's domain, and then we migrate that into their hosting environment. That way we can get live on the site. So still, it's being hosted on the client's end.
Right.
We're just designing it on our end.
And if a client, they don't even have a domain yet or even a server to set up, we can do that. We can help them.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. Okay. This one can be mine.
Okay.
Can we still get a web design package from you guys even if my site isn't WordPress? Okay.
Wait. Wait, let me repeat the question. Can we still get a web design package from you guys even if my site is not on WordPress? I think the, I think the answer is yes, because technically what this saying is you're selling to a client that doesn't have a WordPress website.
Right. So
So
let's say it's a different build. And
yeah,
you
a
want to
different
move it over
build.
to
Yeah.
a WordPress site.
exactly.
Then yes.
Yes.
But if the question is, can we build on a different CMS?
No.
Currently, we're only focusing on WordPress design packages. So that's all we're working
Yeah.
with.
I mean, WordPress is, WordPress is the best platform I've ever seen, at least in my experience in digital marketing. I've never seen any other platform that can leverage other services like SEO or even PPC, integrating everything, making it really fast and, easy to implement
Right,
in
and a
one
lot of
place.
people get involved in providing the plugins, and it's just easy to edit.
Yeah.
Loads of stuff. You don't have to dive into the meat of it.
I feel like I'm a developer myself when I do a WordPress. I mean, when I access a WordPress.
I know, because I can implement on-page
All right.
changes.
Are we on a challenge right now?
No. I'm sure we're
I
on the same
sense
line
some
here.
competition.
What's competing? My point is, I can do SEO on a WordPress.
Okay.
As I'm saying, it's there. You
Mhm.
can too. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
saying you
can.
can't.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. All right. Next.
What's the next question?
Okay. So I have an existing website and I want to migrate to WordPress. Can I add an e-commerce module to my local web design package, provided I already have all the content? This is a trick question. You would have to be on the advanced web design package.
Yeah, you do.
Because the local web design package initially doesn't have it. So it would be best, and this is what we were saying, you have to analyze the website requirements of your client.
And
then
know
decide
the product
which-
by heart.
Right, and know which package to go for.
Exactly.
Because if you had picked up the site being on e-commerce, then it should have been on the advanced web design.
Right.
Okay.
Next question we have. I want to throw this your way, Will. What is the turnaround time for your web design packages?
Okay. So
mhm.
local web design would be
2 weeks.
all right.
And then on the web design starter, I believe it's 3 weeks because it includes logo design
Right,
and content creation.
And then the advanced web design is
About 30
4
to 40
5
30 to 40 business days or 4 to 5 weeks. Right.
Right. Okay. And the information of all those deliverables, or what the calendar would look like for them, is pretty much still in the store. Each package actually will show you the timelines and full
Yes.
details on the products themselves.
Exactly. And I think we're down to our last question for the webinar. We're running out of time, but we're going to address the last question for you guys. What's the difference between the local web design and the web design starter?
I think it's based on the redesign requirements, because they both have the same amount of pages in terms of migration, right?
Same pages
Yeah,
of
yeah.
migration, 30 pages.
Right, 30
Yeah.
pages. And then it would be the content, basically.
Right. I
If
think
you don't get content on the local one.
agreed. Yeah, I think that's the only difference. It's that the web design starter and the local web design package, they're pretty much the same. You can sell them to local businesses still. You can focus on a niche on both of those packages. The difference is, what if the business was new? They didn't have any content. They didn't have any logo yet. I think they're better off with a web design starter rather than a local web design. So it's really about matching the need of the business to the product that you're selling.
Right. Okay. And we're going to wrap up.
Yep. I think we should. Thank you, everyone, for staying with us on this webinar. I appreciate your guys' time. And if you guys have any questions for us, feel free to give us a call. It's in your screen right now. We got our AU number, a toll-free number, and the US number. Shameless plug. My extension is 1013. Again, I repeat that. It's 1013.
Mine's 1014.
Yep. Yeah. Give us a call if you guys have any questions, or call your project manager if you have any questions about the web design services that we have. So again, I think that's a wrap, Will. Thank you for having me in this webinar.
And thank you, Tim, for having me too.
All right. See you guys again on the next Partner Bootcamp webinar, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.